previous lecture, we have to study different operations or different levels of image processing based on the operations or based on the input and output type of image. So first important technique, the first important part is low level image processing. In that, see here low level image processing, we have to use input as a image as well as output is also image. So in this low level processing, there is only some of the important concepts are used, that is pre-processing type of operations are used. That means our image will be sharpened or our image will be enhanced image. So in that low level processing, we have to reduce the noise, we have to sharpening the image, we have to increase the contrast, we have to increase the brightness. So all these parts we have to do in low level image processing. So that's why in low level inputs are image as well as output are image. So both image are same image will be input as well as output, but output image will be enhanced form. Enhanced form means it can increase the contrast, it remove the noise, it remove the blurring technique or whatever may be. So that will be low level processing. See, in mid-level processing, we can find some part of we can find the part of the image. So that is segmentation. That is known as a segmentation. So we have to divide the image into number of different segments based on the object or based on some filtering technique, and that will be a mid-level image processing. So in this mid-level image processing, input is image, but output is not image. Output is one form of some part of the image, or it is another some extracted feature of the image. So that will be a mid-level processing. Next one is high-level processing. So high-level processing generally consists of it is used for the classification purpose or object recognition purpose. Okay, so it can combine two, that is mid-level and low-level processing. So input is image, but output may be image or output may be some other part. Okay, so it may be some features or whatever may be. So this is one high-level image processing. So we have to discuss all these parts in a previous lecture. Now next point is typical image processing operations. Okay, so when we have to talk about the digital image processing, what are the different operations we can do in a digital image processing? So there are basically some operations which are used for the digital image processing. So here image processing covers wide range of array of techniques or different techniques or different operations which we have to done on the image processing. But here we have to study some of the important technique which are used here in this image processing. So here we have to preview most of that operations, which operations will be done by user in each technique. Means suppose you want to do the classification, you want to do the object segmentation, you want to do some feature extraction. So you need to define all these operations. So it is like a pre-processing. So when we have to capture the image and we want to process that image, we need some basic operations, and we have to discuss here some of the basic operations which are frequently used in image processing technique. So here some of the operations that will be first operations, generally sharpening operation. So image will be sharpened. So we have to discuss each by next. Second one is noise removal. Third is deblurring. Fourth is edge extraction. Next, fifth one is binarization. Then blurring. Then contrast enhancement or contrast stretching, and object segmentation and labeling. So these are the some of the basic operations which we have mostly used in a DIP. So mostly used operations are these operations. Now we have to see one by one each operations. Okay, so first operation that will be a sharpening of the image. So see here, see sharpening of the image. So sharpening is a technique by which we can find the details of the image by enhancing the particular image. So see here one image will be shown here. See here in this image, see in this image, this is original image. This original image. So this image will be like dull image. So it cannot clear the image. But after sharpening of this image, we can get this. Now see the difference between these two images. So this second image will be clear image. will be clear image. Means we can easily identify, we can easily detect some of the points in that image, but this original image doesn't have such natures or such features. Okay, so this image is dull image, but when we have to apply the sharpening technique, we can get this second type of image. Okay, so here when we have to do the sharpening technique, this image will be visibly clear visible by the human eye. Okay, so a technique by which the edge and the fine details of the image are enhanced for human viewing. Okay, म्हणजे ह्या पहिल्या इमेज मध्ये बघा आपल्याला क्लिअर इमेज नाही, थोडी ब्लरिश इमेज आहे, थोडी dim image आहे. पण ज्यावेळेस we have to imply the sharpening technique, this image increase the contrast, we can clear the edges, clear the some points in that images. Okay, म्हणजे ह्या इमेज मध्ये आपल्याला क्लिअरली आपल्याला सगळं आयडेंटिफाय होत आहे. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द शार्पनिंग टेक्निक. सो वी कॅन शार्प द इमेज, वी कॅन बाय युझिंग शार्पनिंग इमेज वी कॅन फाइंड क्लिअर एजेस, बॉर्डर आपल्याला क्लिअरली फाइंड करता येते. अँड सेकंड वी हॅव टू आयडेंटिफाय डिटेल्स इन दॅट इमेज, वी कॅन इझिली identify the details in that image. So by using sharpening technique we can do all these operations. So sharpening is used for sharp the image, and this is useful for the identify edges or identify the different details in that image. See the difference, ह्या दोन्ही इमेज मध्ये तुम्हाला डिफरन्स दिसतो. So this is one of the example sharpening. So here we will discuss this sharpening technique in next third chapter, that will be based on two types. So there will be two different techniques which are used for sharpening. One is for the spatial domain, another one is frequency domain. So that we will discuss in next points. आपण नंतरच्या चॅप्टर मध्ये हे शार्पनिंग कसं करायचं, ते स्पॅटल डोमेन मध्ये कसं असतं, फ्रिक्वेन्सी डोमेन मध्ये कसं असतं, हे आपण नंतर बघणार आहे. Okay, now sharpening. Now second, noise removal. Now see the noise removal. Now see these two images. This is original image and this after noise removing image. See the difference. Difference तुम्हाला इथं दिसतं. See in A image or this first image, it has different dots. Okay, see these are the dots. So these dots are nothing but noise which are available in that image. So due to the noise, you cannot clear the image. So you cannot clear this image. But after noise removal, see here, this is second image. So in that second image, these dots are removed. So that means the noise are removed. Okay, so see the difference between these two images. You can easily identify what is the difference. So in this first image, there are different dots, whereas that's why this image is not clearly visible. But after removing these dots, that is after removing this noise, we can show this image will be clear. So noise removal. So image processing filters can be used to reduce the different types of amount of noise before image processing in any further. So depending upon the types of noise, we have to use the different types of noise removal techniques. See, whenever you want to do some different operations on the image, it may be classification, it may be object recognition, it may be segmentation, it may be edge detection, whatever may be. So you need to remove the noise. So की ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही नॉइस रिमूव्ह करता, समजा ह्या इमेज तुम्हाला समजा बॉर्डर फाइंड करायचे, तर नॉइस असेल तर बॉर्डर फाइंड करायला प्रॉब्लेम येणार आहे. सो दॅट्स वाय first important operation of the image processing is noise removal. So you can remove the noise, and based on types of noise, so there are different types of noise. So Gaussian noise or some Lapsassian noise. So there are different types of noise, and based on that noise, we can use the different techniques of the noise. So we have to study how to add the noise, how to remove the noise. So in next chapters. So this is the second important thing. So noise removal. So these are the noise. So see the different dots are available in each and every in this each and pixel consists of some dot, or in in this shirt consists of different dots. But when we have to implement noise removal technique, see the dress. So this dress will be clear dress, clear white shirt. So this is one of the important technique, that is noise removal technique. Okay, so next part. See, next is deblurring. See, there are two different techniques related with the blur. So blurring and deblurring. So these are blurring is also useful, whereas deblurring is also useful. So what is the deblurring? So see the image. So in this image, this first image will be blurred image. This first image is blurred image. Now, so from this image, we cannot clearly identify what is this. Okay. So in this image, if we can use the deblurring technique, it will be convert the clear image. See this image. So in this image, we can clearly find what is the actual image. Okay, so this is deblurring. So by using deblurring technique, we can remove the blurring, and we can use this. We can clear the picture. So this is a deblurring. So deblurring is an image may appear blurred for many reasons. So there are lots of reasons why this image would blur. Suppose you can do the picture, and at meantime the camera will be some disturbances, then it will be blurred image. So ranging from improper focusing of the lens or insufficient shutter speed for the fast moving object. So there are lots of reasons why blurring will be there. So we can look different image blurring algorithm in next chapters. Okay, so there are a number of different algorithms which are used for the blurring and deblurring purpose. So deblurring, so this is one of the technique. Now see, the clear difference will be shown in this image. इमेज मध्ये तुम्हाला सरळ फरक दिसतोय की पहिली जी इमेज आहे ती ब्लर्ड इमेज आहे की ज्यामध्ये आपल्याला क्लिअर काही दिसत म्हणजे ऍक्च्युली आपल्याला ही इमेज दिसते की टायरची इमेज आहे पण आतला जो पार्ट आहे तो क्लिअर आपल्याला कळत नाहीये ओके पण ज्यावेळेस आपण डी ब्लरिंग करेल त्यावेळेस आपल्याला ही क्लिअर सगळी इमेज आपल्याला डिस्प्ले होईल सो डी ब्लरिंग इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट ओके नाउ नेक्स्ट इज एज डिटेक्शन so this is also one of the important techniques so age detection. So see the image, this is our image. Now we want to find the age of each object. See, in object recognition, object detection, we need to age detection. So suppose there are lots of images and from that image we want to find the what are the object in that image. So or we can count number of how many objects are in that image. So in that case you can use the age detection technique. So see the image here, this is our rice image, and when we have to use the age detection technique, see each rice consists having age, so this age will be detected. See each प्रत्येक याच्यात age detect झालेला आहे. See this, so this will be age detection technique. So extracting age from an image is a fundamental process to separate the object. Now in object recognition, object detection, we have to require this image age detection. For example, suppose we want to identify which is what is the number which are printed in that image मध्ये आपल्याला नंबर कुठला आहे तो फाइंड करायचा आहे. So we need to find the age of that image. सपोज आपण समजा त्या याच्यात 0 असेल तर 0चा एज आपल्याला फाइंड केली तरच आपण आयडेंटिफाय करेल की ते 0 आहे, सिस्टम आयडेंटिफाय करेल 0. सो फॉर दी processing, first step is separate the object from one another by identifying their ages. So age detection algorithm and different techniques are further discussed. So there are different techniques, for example Connie age detection, Sobel age detection. So these are the lots of different techniques are available, or we can create our own techniques also. We can write our own age detection algorithms also. Okay, so these are the age detection. So age means बाउंड्री डिटेक्शन. फॉर एक्झाम्पल एज म्हणजे आपल्याला काय करायचं की बाउंड्री डिटेक्ट. समजा एखाद्या तुमच्या वर्गातल्या मित्रांचा फोटो आहे आणि ते किती हे फोटो आहे आपल्याला फाइंड करायचा असेल, किती जणांचा फोटो आहे, तर त्या प्रत्येकाचं एज, त्याच्या प्रत्येकाची बाउंड्री डिटेक्ट केली, त्या बाउंड्रीवरून आपण आयडेंटिफाय करू शकतो की हाऊ मेनी पर्सन्स आर देअर इन दॅट इमेज. सेम थिंग हिअर. किंवा कॉइन्स असतील किंवा इथं राईसचं चित्र आहे. सो इन दॅट राईस हाऊ मेनी राईस, सो वी कॅन इझिली काउंट दिस. ओके, सो दिस इज आवर एज detection. So each object will be separated by using the age. So this will be age detection algorithm or age extraction algorithm. So it can find the ages of the image. Okay, now next part, binarization. This is also one of the important technique, binarization. So binarization means convert image into the binary form. Convert image into binary form. Binary form means it will be convert image white and black color. So whatever the color, that will be converted to either white or either black color. So this will be binarization. See this image. So in this image, This will be grayscale image. This image will be converted into binary image. So in this binary image consists of only two colors. One is white color, another one is black color. So these are two colors. Whereas in this grayscale image, it can have 0 to 255 colors. But in binarization, it will be only two colors, either one or either zero. Okay, means either white, either black. या दोन्ही मधलाच कलर म्हणजे ब्लॅक तर असेल किंवा व्हाईट तर असेल. So this will be a binarization. So in many application, it is necessary to reduce the gray level image into the monochrome image. That will be nothing but a binary image, which is useful for the simplification and speed of interpretation. So when you have to convert the image into the binary image, either there are range will be only two values, either 0 or 1, and that's why it can have speed of the interpretation level. Okay, reducing gray level image to only two levels of the gray, that is black and white, is usually called as a binarization. So binarization is nothing but converting by grayscale image, that is converting the value 0 to 255. See here, this is a grayscale image. Okay, so this grayscale image has having range 0 to 255. So we have to convert this image into either 0 or 1 value. 0 or 1 value. That is nothing but a binarization. That is nothing but a binarization. Now for that purpose, we can use some thresholding technique. So in this binarization, we can study what is the thresholding technique, or one can simply that. See, for example, suppose we can convert this 0 to 255 to 0 1. So how we can do this? For that purpose, if our value, for example, we can consider the pixel value 100 less than or equal to 100, that will be said as a 0, and greater than or equal to 100, that will be called as a 1. So it is naturally all the values are converted into either 0 or 1. म्हणजे बायनरायझेशन कसं केलं जातं? तर बायनरायझेशन मध्ये काय केलं जातं की ही जी 0 to 255 व्हॅल्यू आहे, 0 to 255 मधल्या व्हॅल्यू असतील, मग त्यातली एक थ्रेशोल्ड व्हॅल्यू कन्सिडर केली जाते. आता आपण एक्झाम्पलला आपण 100 थ्रेशोल्ड व्हॅल्यू कन्सिडर केली, तर 100 किंवा 100 पेक्षा कमी ज्या व्हॅल्यू आहेत, म्हणजे 100 असेल किंवा 99 असेल किंवा 1 असेल 2 असेल, ऑल दीज विल बी कन्वर्टेड ॲज अ 0. अँड म्हणजे जो नवीन मॅट्रिक्स तयार होणार आहे त्यामध्ये सगळ्याचे 0 पेक्षा कमी व्हॅल्यू आहे त्याला 0 रिप्लेस केलं जातं, आणि 100 पेक्षा जास्त व्हॅल्यू असेल दॅट विल बी रिप्लेस बाय द 1. सो दॅट विल बी बायनरायझेशन. So binarization means converting our grayscale image into the binary image, that is called as a binarization. That means the reducing gray level image to only two levels, that is 0 and 1. So that is binarization. So this is the binarization technique. So see the grayscale image and binary image. See डिफरन्स तुम्हाला इथं दिसतो. इथं फक्त ब्लॅक आणि व्हाईटच कलर दिसणार आहे, तुम्हाला दुसरा कुठलाही कलर ह्या इमेज मध्ये दिसत नाही. पण ह्या इथं तसं आहे का? नो, सी दिस इज नॉट अ प्युअरली व्हाईट कलर और दिस इज नॉट प्युअरली ब्लॅक कलर. आपण ह्याला म्हणू शकतो का प्युअरली व्हाईट किंवा प्युअरली ब्लॅक? नाहीये म्हणू शकत. सो वी कॅन कन्वर्ट दिस टाइप ऑफ कलर्स or this type of a grayscale value into the binary value. So this is called as a binarization. So it is very important for the some part. Okay, so this is binarization technique. Now next will be blurring technique. So this is also आता मगाशी आपण बघितलं de-blurring बघितलं. Now see reverse of it. So this is a clear image, but in some situation we need to blur this image. So blurring technique is used to find some or hide some information and focus some other information. So it is sometimes necessary to blur an image in order to minimize the importance of the texture or some details in that scene. Okay, म्हणजे बघा जनरली आता बऱ्याच ठिकाणी कॅमेऱ्यामध्ये तुम्हाला फॅसिलिटी असते की ब्लरिंगची फॅसिलिटी, म्हणजे तुमचा इमेज किंवा तुमचा फोटो तेवढा फोकस होतो आणि बाकीचे सगळे जे सराउंडिंग असतं, जे बॅकग्राऊंड असेल काय असेल तर ते ब्लर येतं. ओके, सो दिस इज अ ब्लरिंग टेक्निक. So blurring technique, it can hide some importance or hide some details of the image and it can focus on some part. Okay, so this is a blurring technique. So blurring is sometimes necessary to blur an image in order to minimize the importance of some texture, importance of the details. Okay, it can hide that details and we can use that so object can be better recognized by their shape. Okay, हे तुम्ही जनरली आता मग आता एक्झाम्पल सांगितल्याप्रमाणे तुम्ही मोबाईलमध्ये बऱ्याच जणांची फॅसिलिटी असते की ब्लर करायची. तर ते काय करतात की ब्लर जर फॅसिलिटी ठेवली तर तुमची इमेज फक्त क्लिअर येते, बाकीचा जो बॅकग्राऊंडचा पार्ट आहे तो ब्लर होतो. म्हणजे त्यामुळे काय होतं की बॅकग्राऊंड ब्लर झाल्यामुळे ते डिटेल दिसत नाही आणि तुमचा जो फोटो आहे तो क्लिअरली व्हिजिबल होतो किंवा क्लिअरली एज डिटेक्ट केलं जातं. सो दॅट इज अ ब्लरिंग. सो हिअर ब्लरिंग इज used to find the importance of the specific object and it can hide the other objects by using the blurring technique. So here importance of the texture and fine details in scene. For instance, in case where object can be better recognized by their shape, so in that case we can use the blurring technique. So blurring technique in a spatial and frequency domain will be discussed in next chapters. Okay, so this is blurring and deblurring. So blurring मध्ये काय केलं जातं की एखादी इमेज क्लिअर इमेज असेल तर त्याचे काही एखादा ऑब्जेक्ट आपल्याला स्पेसिफिकली फोकस करायचं असेल, बाकीचं आपल्याला नको असेल, सो वी कॅन यूज द ब्लर्स. ओके, आणि डीब्लरिंग मध्ये ब्लर इमेज असते ते आपल्याला क्लिअर करता येते. सो दिस इज ब्लरिंग अँड डीब्लरिंग टेक्निक्स. ओके, now next part, contrast enhancement. See the image, see this image, you can clearly see the difference between these two images. So this is original image and this will be our contrast enhanced image. Now see, this is very dull image, very dull. We cannot find details in that image. We cannot easily find that details. But after contrast enhancement, contrast stretching, the image will be clear image. So we can easily find the details. We can easily identify the objects in that image. So that is contrast enhancement. Okay, so in order to improve an image for the human viewing or as well as make this image for the processing purpose, for example age detection or whatever this, it is necessary to enhance the contrast. आता याच्यामध्ये जर मला ऑब्जेक्टचं हे फाइंड करायचं म्हणलं सो इट इज व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. आता ह्या इथं मला हे शेप व्यवस्थित फाइंड करायचं तर इट इज व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. बट इन दिस इमेज वी कॅन इझिली detect this. In this image we can easily identify this. So this will be very important. So contrast enhancement, आता तुम्हाला इथे इमेज मध्येच फरक डायरेक्ट दिसतोय की ही जी पहिली इमेज आहे ती डल इमेज आहे, ते ओरिजिनल इमेज आहे आणि एनहान्स केलेली इमेज इथे आहे. So there are different techniques. So basic is we can create the histogram of this and we can stretch the histogram. So when we have to stretch the histogram we can clear this image. So histogram stretching is one of the example for the contrast enhancement. Okay, so this will be contrast enhancement. So basically what is the purpose? So it is useful for the basic different purpose. ही जर ओरिजिनल इमेज म्हणून तुम्ही इमेज प्रोसेसिंग करायचं म्हणलं तर यू कॅनॉट डू एनिथिंग. त्या ओरिजिनल इमेज म्हणून तुम्हाला प्रोसेसिंग डायरेक्ट आहे त्याच्यावरून करायचं म्हणलं की यू कॅनॉट डू एनिथिंग बिकॉज इट कॅनॉट शो क्लिअरली. And that's why you can we can enhance this image and then we can do the different types of operations. We can different types of age detection or object detection, whatever may be. So that's why contrast enhancement is one of the basic operations as like noise removal. जसं नॉइस रिमूव्हल ही बेसिक ऑपरेशन आहे तसंच हे कॉन्ट्रास्ट एनहान्समेंट सुद्धा एक बेसिक ऑपरेशन आहे की ज्यामुळे वी हॅव टू इम्प्रूव्ह द इमेज. सो दिस इज कॉन्ट्रास्ट एनहान्समेंट. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टंट ऑपरेशन. तुम्हाला फरक लक्षात येतो इथे इमेजवरून. So what is this contrast enhancement? Now next is last basic operation is object segmentation and labeling. See the image. See this image. So in this image we have two different objects. So these are some small coins that are some coins, and this bigger coin are nickel coin. So these are the objects. See, in this, when we have to given this image, our algorithm identify each image and give the label. So suppose we have to consider this is 1 rupee coin or this is 2 rupees coin and this is 1 rupees coin. So we can easily identify this. So we can detect the object. So this object will be detected and we can label as a 2. We can label as a 2. We can label as a 1. We can label as a 2. So in this way. Means we can easily separate the objects and give the labels. म्हणजे आपण ऑब्जेक्ट डिटेक्ट करू शकतो आणि त्याचं लेबलिंग करू शकतो. सो जनरली बघा बऱ्याच ठिकाणी बँकेत तुम्ही बघितलं असेल की मशीन्स, नोटाचे मशीन्स असतात तिथं पण काय ऍप्लिकेशन आहे. सो दिस इज अ DIP ऍप्लिकेशन. ते इमेज कॅप्चर केली जाते. इमेज कॅप्चर करून त्यातलं जे इमेज जे नोटाचा हे आहे 200 आहे 500 आहे काय असेल ते रिकग्नाइज केलं जातं. त्यानुसार ते इमेज प्रोसेसिंग करून ती नोट काउंट केली जाते. 500ची असेल तर 500ची, 200ची 200, 100ची असेल 100 अशा पद्धतीने. किंवा काही ठिकाणी बघा कॉइन्स काउंटिंग मशीन्स असतात. त्यात कॉइन टाकलं की कॉइन टाकल्यानंतर ऑटोमॅटिक ते काउंट करतं. 5 रुपयाची कॉइन किती, 2 रुपयाची कॉइन किती, 1 रुपयाची कॉइन किती, ते कशामुळे आहे. सो दॅट इज this is one of the example, object separation and labeling. So object will be separated. हे जे example दिले तेच आहे. So here in this image the algorithm will be separate the objects and depends on the features of object we can give the labels of that. Okay, म्हणजे आपण समजा आता 5 रुपयाचे कॉइन घेतलं तर जनरली 5 रुपयाच्या कॉइनचं डायमीटर किती असतो की त्यानुसार आपण तो ऑब्जेक्ट आयडेंटिफाय करणार आणि त्या आयडेंटिफाय केलेल्या ऑब्जेक्टला आपण नेम देणार. सो 5 रुपीज कॉइन. समजा आपण 2 रुपयाचं कॉइन घेतले तर 2 रुपयाचे कॉइनचं डायमीटर जास्त आहे 5 रुपये कॉइन पेक्षा. सो वी कॅन इझिली फाइंड दॅट. किंवा 10 रुपयाचं कॉइन घेतला तर हे जे कॉइन्स आहेत ह्याचे वेगवेगळे फीचर्स फाइंड. आता इथे एक एक्झाम्पल आपण सांगितले की डायमीटर फाइंड केलं. सो दिस सच टाइप ऑफ डिफरंट features we can find, and based on that feature we can label that coins. So this is one of the important application of a DIP. So object segmentation and labeling. So the task of separating or segmenting and labeling object within the scene is one of the important algorithm, one of the important technique, or one of the important application of the digital image processing in case recognition and classification of the system. Okay. So अंडरस्टँड दिस ऑब्जेक्ट सेपरेशन लेबलिंग. म्हणजे ऑब्जेक्ट सेपरेट केला जातो आणि त्याला लेबल केलं जातं. लेबल करताना काय की डिफरंट बेस्ड ऑन द डिफरंट फीचर्स लेबलिंग आर डन. ओके. नाउ here once the relevant object has been segmented, now first step ऑब्जेक्ट विल बी पहिल्यांदा काय केलं जातं ऑब्जेक्ट सेपरेट सेगमेंट केलं जातं किंवा ऑब्जेक्ट विल बी रिकॉग्नाइज. ऑब्जेक्ट सेपरेट किंवा सेपरेट एज फाइंड केलं जातं, ऑब्जेक्ट फाइंड केलं जातो. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन दॅट सेगमेंटेड ऑब्जेक्ट वी कॅन फाइंड द डिफरंट फीचर्स. We can find the different features of that object, and based on that feature we can use the labeling. We can based on the feature we can use the labeling. आता जसं एक्झाम्पल मध्ये सांगितलं की 10 रुपयाचं कॉइन घेतलं तर 10 रुपयाच्या कॉइनचा डायमीटर फाइंड केला किंवा 5 रुपयाच्या कॉइनचा डायमीटर फाइंड केला किंवा 2 रुपयाच्या कॉइनचा डायमीटर फाइंड केला. तर ह्या प्रत्येकाचा डायमीटर वेगळा आहे आणि त्याच्यानुसार आपण समजा 5 रुपयाच्या कॉइनचा डायमीटर समजा 1 सेंटीमीटर असेल फॉर एक्झाम्पल कन्सिडर करू आपण की 1 सेंटीमीटर असेल तर जर त्या ऑब्जेक्टचा डायमीटर 1 सेंटीमीटर मिळाला तर आपण काय कन्सिडर करणार दिस विल बी 5 रुपीज कॉइन. समजा आपण 2 रुपयाचा कॉइन घेतला तर 2 रुपयाचा डायमीटर समजा जास्त आहे. सो दॅट इफ द पर्टिक्युलर ऑब्जेक्ट हॅज डायमीटर समथिंग दॅट व्हॅल्यू सो वी कॅन कन्सिडर दॅट इज 2 रुपीज कॉइन. So based on that we can find the we can labeling the objects. Okay, so here this is object segmentation. So in this first step is we can segment the object, we can define the object, we can divide the object, and after that we can find the features of the object. That particular object's features find केले जातात, and then according to the features we can give the labels. Okay, आपण त्या features वरून आपण label देऊ शकतो, and this is our object separation and labeling technique. Okay, so it is used for the classification, clustering, or recognition object. So segmentation and labeling is one of the important connected components which will be discussed in next chapter. Same thing, feature extraction is also one of them. So in this technique there are two DIP techniques are used. One is object segmentation and second is labeling. For the labeling purpose we need to feature extraction. So labeling करायचं म्हणले की we have to use the feature extraction. आपल्याला लेबल द्यायचं आहे, ऑब्जेक्टला लेबल द्यायचं आहे. ऑब्जेक्टला लेबल द्यायचं म्हणजे we have to find the feature of that particular object, and based on that features we can give the labels up to that object. Okay, so object segmentation and labeling, it consists of two basic operations. One operation is object segmentation, dividing the object, and second operation is we can find the features, and based on that feature we can give the labels. So object segmentation and labeling is important feature. Now feature extraction is one of the important part in a DIP. So in for example suppose we want to we want to number plate recognition. So in that number plate recognition, we need to find the features. So consider that suppose our object will be recognized and the shape will be like this. So when our shape is like this, so what is the feature? So it is like ellipse feature. Okay, so we can say this. Then it will be rounded shape. So we can identify this is as a 0. Suppose we have to 1. So 1, this will be straight line. Okay, so आपण त्या ऑब्जेक्ट मध्ये आपल्याला असं दिलं तर त्याचं फीचर्स काय. सो द फीचर ऑफ 1 इज इट इज अ लाईक स्ट्रेट लाईन. ओके, so when we can get the straight line, it is identified as 1. So similarly there are number of different features. प्रत्येकाचे फीचर्स मग समजा आपण 2 सापडला. ओके, सो 2 असेल तर we have to find the features. So it has first part. समजा आपण एक असं कन्सिडर, this will be first part, this will be second part and this will be third part. ज्याच्यात आपण 3 फीचर्स फाइंड केले. पहिला पार्ट आहे, सो पहिला राउंड कितीचा आहे. दुसरा फीचर्स आहे स्ट्रेट लाईन कितीची आहे आणि परत हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन कितीची आहे. ओके, म्हणजे आपण अशा पद्धतीचे फीचर्स फाइंड केले. सो बेस्ड ऑन दिस फीचर वी हॅव टू आयडेंटिफाय द ऑब्जेक्ट. ह्याच्यानुसार आपण आयडेंटिफाय ऑब्जेक्टचं करू शकतो. So these are the number of different techniques which are used. So object segmentation and labeling is uses first object will be identified and then second technique we have to use the extract the feature and based on that feature we can give the label. So these are the basic operations which we have to discuss. Okay, so understand these features. हे जे महत्वाचे जे ऑपरेशन्स आहेत ते हे आहेत. आपण याचं डिटेल आपण परत आपल्याला प्रत्येक ह्याचं प्रत्येक शार्पनिंग कसं करायचं किंवा नॉइस रिमूव्हल कसं करायचं, ब्लरिंग डिब्लरिंग कसं करायचं, हे सगळं आपल्याला प्रॅक्टिकली आपण बघणार आहे पुढच्या चॅप्टरमध्ये. ओके, सो बेसिक ऑपरेशन्स. आता मीटिंग रिस्टार्ट होईल. रिस्टार्ट झाली की आपण पुन्हा चालू करू. ओके, सो 2 मिनिटात आपण परत चालू करूया. मीटिंग आता रिस्टार्ट होईल. टाइम संपलेला आहे आपला. आपण कंटिन्यू करूया. Okay, see, so basically when we have to do the digital image processing, these are the basic operations which will be done. So first is sharpening operation. So why sharpening? So because of our image will be dull image, so in that case we can sharp the image so we can easily identify the details in that image. So that is sharpening. Same thing, noise removal. So whenever we have to capture the image consists of different noises, different drawbacks or different problems. So we can remove that noise so using noise removal techniques. Then deblurring. So due to the some problems or some drawback in the hardware or something, so blurring will be available in that image. So we can deblur that. So image will be clear. Then edge extraction. In object segmentation or in different types, we can use the edge. We can identify the edges of the object. So edge extraction technique is important. Binarization, we have to convert our grayscale image into the binary image, or subcolor image is also in binary image. So that binarization technique is used. So whenever we have to convert the color image into the binary image, first we have to convert that binary color image into the grayscale, and after that grayscale we can convert into the binary image. Then blurring technique, this is also one of the important technique. So blurring technique, so in that blurring technique some important information we need to focus and other will be we want to remove. So in that case we can use the blurring technique. Contrast enhancement, so it can use the enhance the contrast due to that we can easily find the objects easily. The particular image will be easily visible by the human. Then object segmentation and labeling. In this concept we can identify the object, what is the object, we can segment, we can divide, or we can identify the objects in that image, and according to that features of the object we can give the labeling. So these are the basic operations or some of the important operations which are done in image segment image processing technique. So these are we have to discuss all these in this. आणि ह्या प्रत्येक जे टेक्निक्स आहेत त्याचे आपण प्रॅक्टिकली इम्प्लिमेंटेशन नंतरच्या पार्ट मध्ये जसं चॅप्टर मध्ये येईल त्या पद्धतीने बघणार. नाउ नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज ओरिजिन ऑफ डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग. when or some we can say the historical development of image processing. Image processing चं historical development काय आहे किंवा कशा पद्धतीने image processing evolved होत गेलं. So this will be one of the first important application of digital image processes in newspaper industry. पहिलं application म्हणजे digital image processing किंवा image processing चं application पहिल्यांदा कुठं वापरलं गेलं. So the first digital image is used in, now see, first here we can say that the first application of digital image is used in a newspaper industry. So when pictures were first sent by the submarine cable between London and New York. So this is one of the basic first application or first application of image digital image. So the particular image will be sent from London to New York. So this image will be sent from this London to New York with the help of submarine cable. So this cable will be in Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so this picture will be sent by the Bartlett cable picture transmission system, where the techniques invented in 1920 is transmitted digitalized newspaper agency over the submarine cable line between London and New York. So this first digital image will be sent from London to New York in 1920 by the Bartlett cable. Bartlett cable. Now this cable, submarine cable means the cable which are under the Atlantic Sea. ही जी केबल आहे की लंडन ते न्यूयॉर्क मध्ये जी केबल टाकली ती केबल अटलांटिक सी मधून किंवा जे महासागर आहे त्या सागरातून ही केबल टाकली आणि लंडन टू न्यूयॉर्कला पिक्चर पहिलं सेंड केलं गेलं. अँड फॉर दॅट पर्पज इट रिक्वायर less than 3 hours, near about 3 hours it required to receive the picture. The picture send केल्यानंतर रिसीव्ह करायला जवळजवळ 3 तास लागले पिक्चरला. आणि दॅट पिक्चर इज नॉट कलर पिक्चर, दॅट इज अ ग्रे लेवल पिक्चर. ओके, सो ते पिक्चर पण मी तुम्हाला दाखवतो. सो युझिंग बार्टलेट सिस्टीम इमेज कुड बी ट्रान्समिटेड अक्रॉस द अटलांटिक सी इन लेस दॅन 3 hours. ओके, नाउ this system were capable of coding the image in 5 distinct gray level. 5 distinct gray level means 2 raised to 5. 2 raised to 5. So when that picture will be converted, so this picture consists of 0 to 32 values. म्हणजे जसं आपण ग्रे स्केल म्हणलं 0 to 255 म्हणतो, पण त्यासाठी 8 बीट जर असेल तर, पण इथे किती घेतले 5 बीट घेतले होते. म्हणजे इनिशियली जे पिक्चर सेंड केलं गेलं. So initially in 1920, the Bartlett cable sent the image from London to New York, and that image will be 5 distinct level of gray. That means that image consists of only 0 to 32 values. Sorry, 32 नाही, 31 value. So 0 to 31 values. 0 ते 31च व्हॅल्यू त्या पर्टिक्युलर इमेज मध्ये असतील. जसं आपण ग्रे स्केल म्हणलं की इट कन्सिस्ट ऑफ 0 to 255, 255 व्हॅल्यू असणार आहे मॅक्सिमम. इथं 5 distinct level, so it can have only 30. And for transmitting this image, it requires near about 3 hours. जवळ 3 तास त्या पिक्चरला लागतात. Okay, after some time in 1929, this 5 distinct level will be increased to 15 distinct level. म्हणजे 5 डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवलचे परत 1929 पर्यंत इम्प्रूव्ह होत गेलं आणि 15 लेवल पर्यंत ते इन्क्रीज होत गेलं. सो दिस इज अवर बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन. म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा कुठलं इमेज कशी सेंड केली. सो दॅट सी वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टंट पॉइंट लक्षात घ्यायचं. सो द डिजिटल इमेज विल बी सेंड फ्रॉम लंडन टू न्यूयॉर्क in 1920 by the Bartlett cable for the newspaper. Okay, this image having 5 distinct level, so that is 2 raised to 5. So this is a basic. Now see, so when this is our image which will be sent. Okay, ही जी इमेज आहे ही पहिली इमेज सेंड केली गेली. सो ऍट द ट्रान्समिशन आता ह्यामध्ये कशा पद्धतीने सेंड केली, डिजिटल इमेज सेंड केली. नाउ सी 1920 साली, सो देयर विल बी नो कॉम्प्युटर्स. कॉम्प्युटर नव्हते त्यावेळेस. तो हिस्ट्रीमध्ये तुम्ही बघितलं असेल की कॉम्प्युटरचा शोध नंतर पुढं 1960च्या आसपासच्या याच्यातून लागत गेला. तोपर्यंत काय, सो ॲट दॅट टाइम, so at the transmitter the pattern of the telegraph tape were made using the special printing device and decode into the image at the receiving end. जिथं ट्रान्समिटिंगला, at the transmitting level the telegraph tape is used. Okay, and from that telegraph tape it can send the image, and at the receiving end that image is decoded into the image using telegraph printer. मग तिथं परत प्रिंटिंग मध्ये ते इथून इमेज कन्वर्ट करून बायनरी 0 आणि 1 मध्ये फॉर्मॅटमध्ये पाठवली गेली, आणि त्या ठिकाणी मग ते टेलिग्राफ प्रिंटर वापरून ती इमेज प्रिंट केली गेली. नाउ दिस इज अ इनिशियली इमेज विच इज सेंड. 1921 साली ही इमेज सेंड केली गेली. ओके, आणि ही इमेज सेंड करायला त्यावेळेस त्यांना नियर अबाउट 3 hours लागले. सो दिस इमेज इज 2⁵, 3 hours, and it is 2⁵. So it consists of 0 to 31 points. Okay, so this will be here. Now see here, what is the, can we say that this is digital image processing? आपण याला म्हणू शकतो का? बघा आपण काय सांगितलंय मागच्या पॉइंट मध्ये किंवा मागच्या स्लाइड मध्ये एक्सप्लेन केलेला पॉइंट, वी हॅव टू सेंड द डिजिटल इमेज. सी, दिस डिजिटल इमेज विल बी सेंड फ्रॉम न्यूयॉर्क टू लंडन बाय बार्टले cable. Okay, so can we say that this is digital image processing? The answer of this, although this example involves the digital image. आता इथं काय वापरलंय, digital image. Now see, this digital image transmitted by the telegraph tape and receiving by the telegraph printer. दोन्हीकडे बघा, रिसिव्हिंगला आणि ट्रान्समिशनला काय वापरलंय. सो ऍट द ट्रान्समिशन लेवल इट कॅन हॅव टेलिग्राफ टेप, whereas it receiving end it has used a printer, telegraph printer. So in this receiving and transmitting there is no any computers use. कॉम्प्युटरचा कुठं वापर केला का इथं नाही, इथं इनपुटला पण नाही ना आउटपुटला पण नाही. So that's why we cannot say that this is a digital image processing. आपण डेफिनेशन मध्ये बघितलंय की digital image processing will be processing the image using digital computers. आपण काय डेफिनेशन बघितलं डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग. सो डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग इज अ प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ डिजिटल इमेज युझिंग डिजिटल कॉम्प्युटर्स. अशा पद्धतीचं आपण डेफिनेशन बघितलंय. पण ह्या डेफिनेशन प्रमाणे इथं डिजिटल कॉम्प्युटर कुठे वापरलाय, नो. सो ऍट द रिसिव्हिंग एंड, at the transmitting end, no computers are used, and that's why this is not a digital image processing. Here digital image is used, but digital computers are not used for the processing purpose, and that's why we cannot say that this is a not digital image processing concept. हा डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग नाही. जरी डिजिटल इमेज ही जी इमेज आहे ही इमेज डिजिटल इमेज आहे, पण ती डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेस करण्यासाठी डिजिटल कॉम्प्युटर वापरले गेले नाहीत. रिसिव्हिंग आणि ट्रान्समिशनला टेलिग्राफ टेप आणि टेलिग्राफ प्रिंटर वापरला, अँड दॅट्स वाय दिस इज नॉट अ डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग सिस्टीम. मग डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग कधी चालू झालं? सो व्हेन कम्प्युटर्स आर डेव्हलप्ड. So although this example involves digital images, they are not considered digital image processing because as per our definition, computers were not involved in this system. And that's why we cannot say that this is a digital image processing. Okay, thus the history of digital image processing initially started with the development of the digital computers. मग डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंगची सुरुवात कधी झाली? सो व्हेन डिजिटल कॉम्प्युटर्स आर डेव्हलप्ड, फ्रॉम that time digital image processing will be started. So thus the history of digital image processing initially tied to the development of digital computers. The first powerful computer will be developed in early 1960. तो पहिला जो म्हणजे जो पॉवरफुल कॉम्प्युटर इनिशियली जो डिझाईन झाला किंवा जो झाला तो 1960च्या आसपास झाला. सो द बर्थ ऑफ व्हॉट वी कॉल डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग टुडे कॅन बी ट्रेस्ड टू द अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ दोज मशीन्स, दोज पॉवरफुल कॉम्प्युटर मशीन्स, and at the space program during that period. So this first, we can say that first application of digital image processing is space program. पहिलं ऍप्लिकेशन कुठं वापरलं तर स्पेस प्रोग्रामला. सो ॲट दॅट टाइम at 1960 or something 1970s, between 1962 to 97, the first powerful digital computer will be developed, and this digital computer is used for the space program. Space program साठी US ने त्यांचा यूज केला होता. And this is our first digital image processing application. So it took the combination of these two development to bring into focus with potential digital image processing. Now combination of the powerful computers and the space program, this will be first digital image processing application. So पहिलं digital image processing application कशात आहे तर कॉम्प्युटर आणि स्पेस प्रोग्राम मध्ये आहे. So now see, so when we can working on the computer technique for improve the image for the space probe, which can sent by the Jet Population Laboratory at California in 1964, when picture of the moon transmitted by the Roger 7. So Roger 7 is one of satellite which can take a photo of the moon and send to the Earth. Okay, and this is our first photo which are seen by the Roger 7. This is improved photo. This is not original photo. हा ओरिजिनल फोटो नाही, हा इम्प्रूव्ह केलेला फोटो आहे. म्हणजे ह्याच्यात मॉडिफिकेशन केलेलं आहे आणि दिस मॉडिफाईड और प्रोसेस्ड फोटो. सो डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग केलेला फोटो इथं आपल्याला इथं दाखवलेला आहे. सो दिस इज आवर फर्स्ट इमेज प्रोसेसिंग ऍप्लिकेशन. So this first image processing application is 1964, when Roger 7 sent the moon photo to the Earth, and this photo will be modified by the digital image or digital computers, and this will be clearly visible some of the parts on the moon. Moon चे जे काही parts आहेत आपल्याला clear दिसतात. So this is first picture of the moon sent by the US spacecraft, that is Roger 7. So this is our first application of digital image processing. So पहिला पार्ट लक्षात आला डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंग ची हिस्ट्री. सो फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग डिजिटल इमेज पहिली पार्ट. सो इन 1921 digital image will be sent from London to New York by using Bartley cables. Okay, and here it can use the transmission at the transmission telegraph tape, and receiving end that is uses it can use the telegraph printer. So here digital computers are not used. That's why we cannot say that is a digital image processing technique. But digital image processing technique will be developed from the development of the powerful computer system, that is early 60. So first important application of our first important digital image processing application is in 1964 with respect to Roger 7 and space program. So this is our first application of digital image processing. So understand this. Now next part. Okay. So in parallel with space application, digital image processing techniques is begin in 1960 to 1970, which will be used in different medical image, remote sensing or earth resource observation, and astronomy. So the basic operations त्यावेळेस डिजिटल इमेज प्रोसेसिंगचा यूज कुठं कुठं वापरला गेला. सो इन 1960 to 1970 the image processing are used in the medical field, in remote earth resource observation or remote sensing and astronomy. So in these fields basically the digital image processing are used. So in medical technique, see now we can see the DIP technique now used in broad range of application in the field of space programmers. Nowadays DIP is used in most of the applications because we have easily available digital images, we have easily available digital computers, the storage techniques which are easily available, the internet speed is easily available, and due to all the technology improvement, digital image processing is used to many of the applications, many of the particulars. So basically it is a space program, It is useful for the medical image processing. It is useful for the different types of applications. We can see one by one in next point. आता याच्या पुढचा जो point आहे application of digital image processing. So we have to see one by one that applications. So before that, in 1960 to 1970, the digital image is used to computerized axial tomography, CAT scan, or so we can say that computerized tomography, that is CT scan. जनरली आपल्याला हे टर्म ऐकलेले आहेत आपण, CT scan हे केलं. So that CT scan, so this is a medical image. So this medical image technique, or this scan image will be improved by the digital image processing, and doctor can be easily visible the particular problem in that scan or particular disease in that scan. Okay, so here the invention in early 90 of computerized axial tomography, as well as which can called as computerized tomography, that is CT scan, is one of the most important application of a digital image processing in medical diagnosis. So this is one of the application, but recently it is used for different types of applications such as ultraviolet rays or infrared rays or something, X-rays or whatever maybe. So we have to discuss all these applications in next point. Okay, so computer procedures are used to enhance the contrast or code intensity level into the color for easier interpretation of X-rays or other medical images, for easily identification of or easily diagnosis of the particular person, as well as it is useful in a biological sciences also. So this digital computer system is useful for the medical field, in biological science, is chemical science, whatever this. So these are some of the initial application of digital image processing. So now next point we have to cover, or we have to start in next lecture. So what are the different applications of digital image? There are lots of applications of digital image processing. We have to see some of the important application in medical field, in some research field, or in some industry areas, or whatever maybe. So we have to study that type of applications in next lecture. ओके, पुढच्या लेक्चर मध्ये आपण तो बाकीचा एक्झाम्पल्स किंवा त्याचे ऍप्लिकेशन्स आपण पुढच्या लेक्चर मध्ये बघूया. सो मी स्क्रीन स्टॉप करतो आणि तुम्हाला